one. Here we are.
Welcome.
Welcome. Deliciously motivated mindset conversations here live in person in real time.
In real life. Who would have thought? I'm just it's telling me on my phone that we're live now.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, because you set the reminder. I do too. Oh, and okay. I can hear us talking too.
Yeah, I've just put that aside. Yay, welcome everybody. This is pretty exciting.
It is.
Done. I think it's exciting.
Of course. It's exciting because we get to hang out. And if you have questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. Do you listen to our podcast episodes, and how are they going for you? Do they help you? Do they make you turtle?
Do you go to a 0 or do you go to a 10 at the end of our podcast? That's probably the question.
That is probably the question. So welcome, dear Deb. Today, we like to think of these conversations as us debunking myths, because we think that myths should be debunked and checked into. Is that really the truth?
Well, and I remember the time we created this one. I was like, yes, and
what's next?
Debunking a myth has just been an interesting one, because really all it is my perception and your perception, but also ripping apart the world's perception or what we brought up with. And for people who don't know, I'm Debz and that's Moira. If you've never listened to a podcast before, you won't know who the calming voice is and who the other one is who snorts often. But for don't know who that is.
Wonder who that could be.
Yeah. For me, it's about Moira had a different upbringing than me, and who we are. People, we're very different, but we're still quite aligned with a lot of things.
Absolutely.
And so the debunking myth comes from, and the myth we have comes from our childhood. Really, most of them are.
Yep.
And so it's definitely different with Moira's childhood upbringing than mine and those around us, when we start talking to people about them. So that's pretty much what a debunking myth is.
That's the vibe that we're doing. And sometimes inconceivably a myth or a story that you've got, even in the debunking it, maybe you can say, oh, actually, no, it's my truth. Right?
Oh, yeah. It doesn't actually mean you have to listen to us.
Yeah, or believe us or agree. Yeah, absolutely.
But right. Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be here talking.
Yeah, that's the one.
But today we were going to talk about this kind of idea, and I don't know if you were ever told this or had it said to you in childhood, was to clean your plate or eat your food because you had to, because there were starving people in the world, as though that was the reason that you had to eat your food. Did you have that?
I was never told starving people. It was always starving kids. But I think that's possibly because I was a child myself when I was told that.
Right. So it was to your peers. There are peers of yours who are starving and would feel fortunate to have that food.
Yeah. And I think I also, I don't know if I actually told that to my daughter growing up. I don't know if it was one that I said. But I have heard people say, and I don't believe it will be my story. I think it's a story I've heard. Is we'll go, we'll send it to them.
I know.
We'll give it to them.
I think that was me.
You.
That was me.
Yeah. As soon as I said that, I went, actually, I have a feeling that's Moira. I'll send it to them.
Send it to them.
Will it last?
I really don't like this. So send it to them, because that was my thing, was because it would have been said to me about some kind of food or something that I didn't like. I didn't want to eat it. And so that was part of my
cauliflower. Cauliflower back in the day. I love cauliflower now. I love cheese sauce. That's probably my cauliflower broccoli with leeks and cheese sauce.
Oh, that's delicious.
I know, just like divine.
That. Good comfort food.
That's definitely. And I would easily have all that. I have all that over and over and over again. No problem. no problem, just on its own.
Mm.
And I think when we think about that, there are starving people out there in the world. So
There
when
is.
we debunk, I can hear a little rustle.
Uh-oh.
when we
Deb has a little puppy in behind her.
that I thought was sleeping. We had just mentioned just before we went live, he was sleeping, 10 weeks old, but now he's rustling away. So he might have a little whimper soon. So when we debunk that myth, it's actually a truth.
Yes. It is a truth that there
Isn't
are
it?
starving people in the world, but why does that mean you have to eat what's in front of you?
Yeah, because there's two
That's
parts
the
to
piece.
that.
Yeah, it's to separate these.
Yeah, so the truth is there are starving people in the world, yes, and they're in your hometown. They're not just, in certain areas of the world or the other side of the world. We're told the other side of the world takes so many days to post stuff. But that is the truth. But then why do you have to?
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think that the real important piece here in why it's so important to take it apart, like you just said, we're actually talking about two issues here. One is eating or cleaning your plate and eating everything that's on your plate. And the other is the starving people in the world. So the one is the truth, but the other one, maybe not. And if that's the only reason that you're eating everything off your plate, then maybe it's not serving your body, right? Are you checking in and seeing what's my body need? How much nourishment does my body need? Right?
Yeah, and I think we know when you eat healthy,
Yep.
your body feels nourished, and we know when you eat I'm going to say negative foods, the ones that react to you, how your body responds to that would be the nicest part of it. We're fully aware of that.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, then eat complete junk for 2 days. Go on, try it and see what happens. But do not think you can leave the house.
Listening to your body.
Because you're going to be in pain in all areas, as well as your mind and your skin. But then the other thing is what I can eat, my body can handle, but what Moira can eat, her body may not handle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's being aware of, when I find when our parents, and I say our parents, eat that, they don't know that that's working well with my body.
That's right.
And I guess back in the day when I was a child, we didn't have a lot of allergies or, nowadays there's so many people who are gluten-free or so many people who choose to be vegan or so many people who choose dairy-free, whether it's because of a reaction or not.
Sensitivity or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think being aware of that in nowadays form really helps. So what you eat or what your parents tell you should eat could be different to what your body has. And what you could eat yesterday, you may be fine with it, but 2 days later when you go to eat the same thing, it might react, because that all depends on your sleep patterns, what you've had that day, how your mood is.
Your emotions, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's actually the key piece here from what you're saying, Deb, is that it's really important to stay present and not be listening to a dialogue of your parents said back, at a different time. Is to really just sit in and stay present. Does it feel good? Do you put a bite in your mouth and then go, oh no, that's okay.
But does it feel good to give you the adrenaline rush, or does it feel good because it just feels good? Because we don't want that adrenaline high. Feel good. Pom. Yeah, I love this sugar. I love this. I love this.
And sometimes we're going to do that. And like you just said, sometimes we ingest something and then maybe pay a price. Maybe you get digestive upset or upset stomach from it. That is just you deepening your awareness of what works with your body. For a long time I danced in and out of am I gluten intolerant? Do I have to follow that kind of diet? And it turns out that I actually am not gluten intolerant. I went and got some food testing done, sensitivity testing. I'm
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm wheat intolerant. So it was interesting part.
So there's a different thing.
There is a
So
difference.
you see, I would just go gluten is wheat. Wheat's gluten. Like, it's the same thing. But no, until you get to know, I know. But then I'm not big into that sort of stuff of digging around. I have enough in my head. I don't want to be taking that on. Unless I have a client who's got that stuff, then I'll investigate a little bit more. But I don't want more in my head right now.
No, especially because you got a puppy.
Yeah, but that's exactly it. Just one now you got tested. You're like, okay, but you can still choose to eat that or not.
Absolutely.
You can go, yeah, and I think
do. I do. Once in a while, I will have something wheat, but it's a conscious choice, knowing that I've really checked in. Is this going to sit okay? And sometimes it's no, and so then I don't.
Yeah, I think the thing is just being able to make your own decisions,
Absolutely.
which is anything in life, and go, okay, there's consequences to everything. Any decision you make, anything you say, speak, energy, anything, there's a consequence. People will like it, people won't.
Yeah.
But it's about you. So you eat that bread and go, is this going to affect me? Is this not? Whatever. Or am I just going to enjoy being here at the moment and face the consequence later? Whatever. It's your choice. You do what's best for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that if we do it from that space of, in this moment, I'm choosing this, it actually, and this is in my own experience, I don't have a flare up. I don't get a emotional or upset tummy from it because I chose it.
But that's because you've already emotionally calmed that down, that farm, settled that, and acknowledged it and gone, okay, well, I'm going to be okay either way, and it's neutral.
Yeah.
And once things are neutral or balanced or poised, that's when you have nothing to it. Yeah. But that's a great one, even just to acknowledge that and go, okay, I know this could potentially have an effect on me. Might not, but just that alone calms that farm. Do other people do that? What do they do? Let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what do you do? Do you sit in and check in with that dialogue of I have to eat this? Or did you have that told to you or suggested to you when you were in your childhood, and is it still kind of there in the background?
And is there foods back then that you were forced to eat that you won't eat now? Because I was forced to eat the silver beet, the broccoli, the cauliflower, and they're one of my favorite foods now, like Brussels sprouts. In fact, I think you and I have had a conversation about Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts. Yeah, I think you and I have had a conversation. I like them. Is that you I've had that conversation with?
I'm not sure, but I actually like baby Brussels sprouts, not the big ones.
Oh, is there big ones? They're only tiny anyway.
Little tiny baby ones.
Oh, tiny,
just fresh. Yeah, I like them.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't like them as a kid. As a kid,
no.
I was forced. Actually, it's a family joke is that I had to eat raisins, and I don't like raisins. I still don't like raisins. But I used to flick them. I would pull them out of the muffin or whatever, and I'd flick them somewhere. So I didn't.
Oh, I loved raisins. I love raisins, and I love and we have these little packets, these little red packets from somebody, I don't know what, and I'd quite often get as much as I can into my mouth. I take them to events. That would be my little.
It's a good snack. Oh, there's Puppy. Puppy saying, "I'll have some raisins.
I'll have anything you have. Thank you very much."
Well, this has been a good conversation around this. It's just, I think, I like how you brought that into a broad spectrum of issues. It's not just food. It's the idea of debunking myths is to just watch what you're saying about yourself, what you're believing, what are your patterns, how come you're doing something or how come you're not doing something, and then just checking in. Does this serve me? Is this in alignment with the truth of who I am? Right?
Yeah, well, our stories and our scripts that we've had from the past do come in, and they're around us all the time. We can't deny that.
Nope. Yeah, we can't. Awesome. Awesome. So we would love to hear from our listeners or our viewers. We can't see any comments from where we are, but we will come back in here and check in and provide any other insights. Or Deb goes off camera.
I'm just going to pull up this little
Oh, we're going to get to see
Mr.
the
Finn.
puppy. Going to see the puppy.
Moaning enough.
There, look at that precious little nugget. Little
Meet
Finn.
Mr. Meet Finn.
This is Finn.
So that's me debunking any myth, done and dusted. This is all he wanted. I just want to see what you're doing.
Just to kiss Mum and say hi, I love you. Isn't he gorgeous? Thank you, dear listeners. Thank you, dear Deb. We will be back this time. This is when we're doing them once a month. We will come back in and
it's the third week of the month.
Third week of the month that we will come in and have another debunking myth conversation. And so, if you've watched this, we would love for you to share any kind of myth that you would like to have us riff about and maybe co-create a debunking myth type of idea. So let us know. Let us know how this fits with you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next month.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.